Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode in the series where I take you through my mix of Zöe Z's All in Your Mind. Obviously, again, the song is not out, so I cannot play the top line for you, but the rest I can. This is the intro. And then the chorus, which is where we have the most instrumentation. We have a bridge, very simple. Now today I am walking through the synth side of it. Obviously there's an 808 playing the bass in the choruses, and there's a lot of drums and texture work going on, but for today is what we're gonna do. Now the main instrument that happens throughout all the arrangement is this Fender Rhodes here. Now, as you hear, there's a lot going on in terms of effects, even if it's just one instrument. The aim of the exercise all the time is to make sure that even if it's just one sound, it's never boring. These are all the plugins that I put on the track, and then I'm gonna mute them and then explain why I use them one by one. The synth sound is a very standard Fender Rhodes that comes from the Arturia virtual instrument collection. Now, the first thing that I do when I have a standard boring sound is to slap this on. And this instantly makes everything better. This is the RC20, and it has an array of effects that introduce non-linearities. And then after that, I put the instrument in an interesting space, which is the Studio One of Sunset Sound, if only. But in virtual reality, this is where I put my Fender Rhodes. See how it instantly gained a lot of space, and it sounded like there's a sort of a natural sound going on. And after that, I made sure that the sound would wobble left and right as a good Fender Rhodes would. Now, the next plugin that I'm using here is a favorite of mine, and it's made by Sonymous, and it is the emulation of the pre-stage of a Neve console, and I use it on everything as a saturator. The way I use this, I drive the sound in the preamp section until it breaks up, and then this plugin takes care of the gain staging so that it will automatically lose volume to compensate for the amount of gain I put into it. very shy with it. I have it peak and needle in the red, because that's how you get a nice big saturation. Next in line is this beauty here, which I just bought from a company called Noise Ash, and they're doing great work with EQs. And this is the replica of a Neve Portico EQ section. When I want to EQ a track, this is what I do. I use at first a sculpting EQ where I make the sound nice and pretty, and then I use probably Pro Q3 at the end of the chain to then make it fit in the mix. In this case, I've just shaved away a bit of the rumble down low, and then I gave it a little bit of a sparkle just to make it pop out. After that, a great classic, vintage verb. And then just a bit of this to create the fake sidechain and make it pump. The next plugin in the chain is a compressor that's sidechained to the kick drum, so that every time the kick hits, the Rhodes ducks. This way, I create sonic space for the kick to happen, and nothing gets in the way. Obviously, I do not need a long compression time because a kick drum is a very short sound. The next processor in line is the BX Digital V3 from Brainworks, which is one of my favorite. And I'm not using the EQ at all, as you can see, but I'm using the stereo with control. In the verse, there's only one instrument, which is the Fender Rhodes, and that is the main part of the sound, and so I keep it nice and big. But in the chorus, I want other instrument to feel wide, so what I do, I narrow down the Fender Rhodes from the sides to almost the center, so I make space for the rest to feel wide and big. And you can hear it here when I go from the verse to the chorus. And this is an automation. As you can see, the Fender Rhodes got loads of automations. And if I do that, I make room for all the other instruments on the sides. And last in line is my trusty Pro Q3. So I use this guy mainly to make room in the low end for the 808, and you will see it when the chorus kicks in. The high pass filter will sweep. The Fender Rhodes used to be the main instrument in the arrangement, and then in the chorus is just mid-range. I take away all the low end, I take away all the high end, and also there's a bit of compression going on around here just to tame the rumbling sound of the room and the Fender Rhodes. Well, that is all for now. I hope you had a good time. I'll see you very soon with another video. In the meantime, take care, and if you have any questions, get in touch.